Welcome back, everybody, to Fireside Pride 2024, benefiting Point of Pride. Our next run is now ready, so apparently there's some chaos coming up. So here it is, Pac-Land, 8 trips, the whole dang game with Alys Rujasu, davidtki, and PeaceEgg. Y'all just, what are we in for?
We're in for the good friends of Pac-Man in the Pac-Land. Hello, everybody. I'm PeaceEgg.
I'm davidtki.
Hello, I'm Alys Rujasu.
And this is a game that predates Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, by a year. So platforming conventions were not invented yet. They were not normalized yet. And now we're going to show you why in a very evil speedrun.
Yeah, I think
Yay!
it's worth pointing out that we're playing this on the TurboGrafx 16 for a specific reason.
Yep.
Like, to move, you have to press the button and you have to rapidly tap it.
Yeah, you could run without tapping the button, but you'd be slow. So to be fast, you need to press it really quickly. Now, we don't want repetitive stress disorders or anything like hurting our fingers or hands or causing wrist issues. So we use TurboGrafx 16 because you hold a button down, you can set a turbo input, and you're just mashing that button. But also that also means there's like no precise control anymore for Pac-Man. He can choose to shoot off ledges, he can choose to take baby steps after jumping over something. There's a lot of control we just don't have anymore. And we're going to have to be wrangling Pac-Man around this world. So I am ready to start showing off. It's going to look really easy to start. Trust me, it does not stay that way, but I'm ready to go if you are, David and Alice.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. You want to count us in?
Yeah, let's go and be a good friend of Pac-Man in the Pac-Land in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right.
So again, like David was saying, to run right here, I am pressing actually what would be the equivalent of the right button on your NES controller. That's essentially like a TurboGrafx controller is like that. It's 1 and 2 on there. We'd be pressing 2 to run right. And I'm using what would be your D-pad to jump.
That takes a lot of time to get used to.
It's extremely weird. Once you get used to it, you're going to feel like, oh yeah, round 1, round 2, these are easy. Just wait. Please
You
just
said
wait.
D-pad to jump?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
using a D-pad to jump.
Oh.
Any direction. Like, I'm pressing left or down on the D-pad to jump, because that's just where my thumb is.
Oh.
Yeah. So I should clarify, it is possible to set the controls basically back to normal, but then you lose the benefit of the turbo so that your D-pad would be moving you and your buttons would be jumping, but you would have to mash the D-pad repeatedly to run fast.
And again, we don't want to break our hands over this game. It's still just Pac-Land. It's not meant. We don't want to destroy our lives over Pac-Land. We just want to hurt ourselves a little bit as a treat.
Already destroyed our lives enough.
Yes, it has. We
What
will
are you
be happily
talking
teach
about?
this
It's
run.
enriched mine.
If you'd like to learn this run, we will always be here to teach you. Catch us at any GDQ. We'll have a TurboGrafx 16 set up somewhere.
Join us.
Also, worth noting, I just hit a springboard. I'm sure David and Alice are around the same area. This would be another case where you have to mash to hover. And literally, there are levels where if you're not mashing fast enough, you will not be able to make it over certain lakes and you will die. Which turbo controls, again, circumvent that whole issue, thankfully.
Yeah, like, to hammer home, like, how important that is, this category that we're running is not... Nobody has been able to run it in the arcade version, because in the arcade version, you don't have access to turbo, and you also have fewer lives, but I think even if you had the full suite of lives, like, it would just be... It's just so much harder when you have to mash to get over those lakes. The arcade version is very difficult and not necessarily in a fun way. That's why we speedrun this version instead.
Yep. And also, you might have noticed in round 4 there, we were running left, and we also have quote-unquote infinite jump, which is both true and not so true. Sometimes it'll crater down depending if you hit platform. Sometimes it just won't respond. It's Pac-Land being Pac-Land.
Yeah, I found sometimes you can do things like you can sometimes hit like sort of an invisible block if you go too high. Like there's like if you go out of bounds like too high, there's like it just invisible collision going on up there, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, you'll just bonk against the invisible ceiling and then you'll just crater down to the ground. It's very bad when that happens.
Yep.
Oh,
And
here we go,
also-
springboards.
Yep, more springboards. So again, we need to be mashing to get through these. We're just holding a button instead, thankfully.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning, you'll see us have to react on the fly to a lot of these enemies. These enemies are not a set pattern. They will appear in set positions in a lot of cases, but their movement is random as far as we can tell. So there will be a lot of cases where you might encounter an enemy in a position where it is not survivable or you have to just wait for it to clear. You'll see a lot more of that later on, so just be ready for that, Trip 5 and beyond.
Yeah.
What we have now is round 7. Oh, go on, Al, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No problem. I was just going to mention you'll notice we are avoiding power pellets in this run because power pellets are super slow, especially if you end up eating any ghosts with them. It just pauses everything for a good while, like similar to what happens in Pac-Man. So we want to avoid power pellets in the vast majority of cases.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 cases where you want to pick them up just to get through Ghost because otherwise the positioning is just, again, evil. But most cases, and that'll be like at the end of levels though, because early on if you grab them, the timer stops and it just makes things really hard to deal with when you're waiting for the timer to count down at the end. You lose a lot of time is the main thing.
These ghosts and planes are dropping their children on us.
That is also true.
Yeah, don't think too hard about that.
In fact,
Too-
don't think
too
too hard
late.
about the whole plot of this entire game. Like, why is there a fairy in Pac-Man's hat? Why is he running to a fantasy land to drop it off? Don't think about it. Just have
Why
a
does
coffee.
he even have a hat?
Great
It's
question.
cool.
It's cool. Yeah, that's the best answer I've got for you.
Okay.
There's a running theory. I forget who proposed it, but that the hat that Pac-Man has in this game was the inspiration for the Red Mage hat in Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see it.
There actually are other hats you can get in this game. There are some like power-ups, and we just never get them because they're not really useful enough. But
Yeah, and they're very slow to get to.
yeah, you actually have to like push things like fire hydrants or cacti, and when you push them, sometimes you get a power up. Most of the time you don't, though. It's that is definitely something that improved with Super Mario Brothers. It's like more clear where the power ups are, and they're more useful. Like we just don't even bother with them here because they're generally not useful. I think the
Absolutely.
arcade version has actually a warp that
It
is
does.
very useful, that advances you, that like skips a few stages, but this version doesn't have that, so we don't bother.
I will note that I'm getting to the cliff levels now, so you're going to see a lot of positioning on our end here in terms of where we have to be for jumps. To get a high jump, Pac-Land needs a couple of steps to get a running start, as you might expect with a lot of platformers of later eras, but because we don't have much in the way of controls, we kind of have to land him on the left side of every cliff side, and have to be very, very precise on that, because if we don't, and we press that button and the turbo decides, oh, you pressed it on the off frames, he's not going to get the running start we need, and we're going to just fall off the cliff, and it's going to look silly. So there's going to be a lot of positioning that doesn't look like much, but it's hard to finagle him into the right spot. Or sometimes you just run into a plane because you're not thinking.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't look like a precision platformer or anything, but these controls are just fighting you every step of the way. So it's even more difficult than it might look.
Yeah, and then again, wait for Trip 5 and beyond. It's...
Yeah, part of it is because the turbo is like 2 frames on, 2 frames off.
Yep. So sometimes you press that button, it's 2 frames on, boom, there goes Pac-Man. Sometimes you press it and it's like, yeah, you're on off frame. Just wait a moment, please.
Yeah. So here in round 13, I'm gonna try and show off the strat that I use that the other players don't use, and it's this one right here where I just shoot up to the rooftops and skip this section of the stage. I'll be doing this again in round 21, but it's optional. You don't have to do it. I just think it makes a lot of the game easier when you do that, especially in round 21.
Yeah, I'm just a sicko. I keep it on the streets.
Like, if you do that exactly right, it's a little bit faster, I think.
Yeah, but it's also way, way more dangerous to stay on the streets.
Yeah, it's like as soon as you take one death, you've lost any time advantage, or if you have to like hesitate to wait for ghosts to get out of the way.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
that's one good thing to bring up is like deaths are about a 4-second time loss, and game overs, depending on whether you get a high score or not, are like 40 seconds or so, I want to say. So we don't actually have a run in this game that is deathless or game overless. That's how difficult this game is.
Yeah.
So you have to factor in that stuff.
Yeah, if we got a run that just avoided game overs the whole way, it would be world record. Like even if you were playing fairly cautiously.
Yep.
The world record has 1 game over. And
it's held by Rujasu.
Yeah, it's I did it, and I think that might be the only time it's been done with just only a single game over like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm pretty sure my PB is 2 game overs.
I think mine as well.
I just had a incredible Trip 8 on mine that was deathless, which is not going to happen here today.
I mean, never say never, but...
I'm saying it in order to try and counter-jinx myself, mind you. Okay, round 16. Ooh, got the first jump there. There's planes. I'm going to not take that second jump. There are certain platforms where you can skip over enemies or land on them just right to try and not get into their hurt box and die. There's some very gutsy jumps you end up taking that, again, they look safe, but they are most certainly not.
Yeah. Round 16 is, like, I would say, I would call it kind of the hardest easy level, because after these first 16 levels, the 16 after this, like, it's an immense step up in difficulty from here on out.
Here we go, Trip 5. Just notice how things are going to be slightly different. Like, Springboard, those ghosts could have chosen to drop the yellow ghost just flew right into my face. I didn't really have a response
How
for
am
that.
I alive?
And that's also a common refrain in Pac-Land. Come on. I need that platform. I need that bounce pad. Yeah, you'll just have situations now from here on out in the game where you would hope that you have a way to escape it, but sometimes you just don't. Sometimes Pac-Land is just going to Pac-Land. And now it's like we're in survival horror territory, y'all.
Round 18 was scary. Those cliff stages are some of the more difficult ones. Like the last cliff stage, round 26, is especially scary.
Yeah, I consider it like the second of the Widowmaker stages that'll just ruin runs.
Yeah, even 22 is no joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
you see there,
my
like,
God.
sometimes you just get caught in a no-win situation in some of these stages.
Yep. We also haven't talked about the ghost houses, have we?
Not
I had
really.
3 ghosts barreling down a hallway toward me.
So the ghost houses are the one thing that we can kind of predict and have a set path on. The ghosts will still be somewhat random, but there's like a best path through these houses that each of us use, and generally it will always be that way. And we can just follow that path every time. It's one of the few cases where we don't really have to add them too much. But if you don't memorize that path, you're in a bad spot, and there are also some places there where you can soft lock if you're a bit careless or you're Flannel Cat trying to swag.
Then we have round 20. The ghosts are on strike. Do not cross the picket line.
Absolutely not. There are 2 scabs out there in round 20. We do not cross that picket line. And they also don't do anything because they're, the 2 ghosts that don't do anything.
Most of the time.
That would be my job. The ghost that doesn't do anything.
I mean, if you got anything you'd like to say, Chibi, this would be a great time to do it.
The
Sure.
ghost did something.
So we have $25 from our previous runner, Lilac Oligochi. They said, thanks for having me, and thank you for being here and showcasing that amazing game. That helped us move up a little bit towards our Nightmare Cart Hoggers %. We are at $146 out of the 400 that we need. Chat, this is something that you do not want to miss. You want to see a cart that is a giant boar? Yes, you do. You know you want to. It is the worst cart in the game due to its complete lack of control. That sounds familiar for this game. And its high weight and size. So if you're really enjoying the absolute lack of control that you're seeing here and you want to see more of that, donate towards that Hoggers %.
To be fair, a complete lack of control is like I'm at home. Ow. The water wanted me dead.
Yep. Do you get hit by a hydrant?
I got hit by a hydrant.
Yeah,
It
so the
pushed
hydrants...
me into some ghost children.
Yep, that'll happen. So those hydrants, if you get hit by the water blast, you're basically along for the ride. You can try and break free from it, but chances are you're just going to keep just getting pushed whichever direction. You just got to hope there's no enemies in the way when you can finally break away. Easier said than done. Alright, I'm on 22 now, the first of the 2 Widowmakers, as I call them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just getting to 22 now.
And that was... I had a pixel off from where I need to be standing for that pink ghost to not drop a child in my face. That's just, again, positioning. And there's my first game over.
Yeah, I'm going to take my first game over as well. I'm going to take it kind of tactically here because I know I'm not getting world record with the pace I'm on. And I would rather take a game over at the beginning of the level than midway through, because then you have to restart.
Yeah, that is often a point of pride, one might say, where we just are no lives and are just like, okay, let's push through this level. We can make it through. We'll get to the next one, and then we'll die in that one. And then, you're right at the end, and a ghost shows up and makes your life miserable.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's a pun tax. Just a heads up.
Okay, I'm gonna be getting my wallet out after this run.
Okay. That's... I should not be alive after that round 23.
Nice.
I somehow got on top of a ghost in that narrow confine.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's possible. It's like almost frame perfect to get that to work out. Also worth mentioning, because I don't think we mentioned this, about those waves that are shooting up from the ground. Those grab Pac-Man, and they're very hard to break away from, much like the hydrants. And they try to drag him
directly to hell.
Yeah, basically. We call him Satan for that reason. Because it will drag you down, and yeah.
Yeah, and you'll notice as the levels go on, like those start shooting up more and more frequently, and it becomes a real problem as we get into these later stages.
Yep. But not today, Satan. Okay, so David, you're on round 24, I'm assuming.
25 now.
25, okay, you've got a solid lead. Rujasu, where are you at?
Finished 23.
Okay. So you're just behind me then. That's the order we're dealing with it right now. Obviously, we're not seeing each other's screens chat. You can obviously see this ahead of time. You can see that David is going to be the future record holder of this run.
Nope,
at
took
some
the game
point.
over.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. It's anybody's race now. But yeah, this is a situation where, like, even with unlimited jump running left, here I'm 24 or any other fourth stage, things can happen and they're very bad.
Sorry, I get excited.
No, it's fair. Like, this is Pac-Land. It's the amount of us trying to just survive tight gaps with ghosts and other awful stuff. I mean, sometimes you have to sit back and get a coffee and hang with Fortnite Bush. And then you just go on trip 7.
Another pretty substantial increase in difficulty here with trip 7.
Yup. And a lot more having just react to ad-lib on ghosts, because sometimes these pogo stick ghosts, they'll jump up and down straight, sometimes they'll move towards you, and then, you know, a UFO ghost will appear out of nowhere. And I'm just going to take the game over here.
Yep.
And there are ways you can kind of bait the ghosts to move one direction or another, but it's, again, not consistent, much like Pac-Man's movement. So sometimes Pac-Land just wants you dead.
Like round 26. Oh, man. Round 26 went round 26 on me.
Oh, no.
Yep. It does that. So 26 is probably the second or third hardest level in the game.
Yeah, I think third is a good way of putting it. Because Trip 8's got, like, 3 terrifying levels out of 4.
Yeah.
And the one it isn't is a ghost house, and you just have to memorize the pattern there again, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah. So when I first played through this game, 26 was the first level that really walled me, that I found myself thinking, even with, you know, sort of infinite lives and continues, I just might not be able to beat this stage at all. And of course I was able to find, you know, what you have to do, but it's still very, very difficult.
Yeah, there's some definite setups you need to wait for certain planes to jump off of to get, like, faster setups. There's other times you just need to wait, and sometimes the blue plane just ducks down and rips you apart.
It's always the blue plane that ducks down. No other
Yeah,
Blue
plane
plane
does
is a
that.
jerk.
Yeah, it, oh, God, I hit the power pellet and missed the platform, so I don't have a power pellet to work with now.
Oh, no.
I think that was a perfect 26. I don't think I died once there.
Nice! So, yeah, you just passed me. But, yeah, it's, the blue plane's the one that will just duck down the whole screen, just hit Pac-Man, so if you're in a position where you have to wait for it to clear your path, it might just kill you. And 27 is much like 10 in that there's just so much randomness in the ghost movement. You sometimes will have to wait for, like, seconds on end just to get an opportunity to move forward. There's also a soft lock opportunity here at the end, and I thought I could jump over that red ghost.
Yeah, so in 28, we're going to be seeing just all the pogo sticks here. So many pogo sticks.
It's a pogo stick fire sale at the Pogo Stick Emporium in Pac-Land. Get in your planes and fly over there right now. All pogo sticks, 95% off.
Should I bring my ghost children?
Yes, absolutely. Bring them all. Drop them all off. Just drop them all off at the not on Pac-Man, but at the Pogostick Emporium, or do both. You know, it's up to you.
If you also have a kid named Billy Blaze, go ahead and drop him off here too.
It's a great idea, actually.
Oh, Trip 8. It's Trip 8 time.
Okay, yeah, David, you want to talk about
boy.
Trip 8 and its awfulness?
Oh, okay. All right. We're starting off with round 29. There's water here, and there's no springboard. So we have to... Ow. That's... We have to... I missed my ride. I missed my other ride.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Okay, let's try this again. There we go. I've got the ride this time. You have to ride the ghost across. But watch out. There's clouds here. And there's a ghost and it got me. So now I'm on Penalty Island. Oh, crap.
Gosh. That's no good. So, yeah, every platform other than the plane you're riding has priority. So anything else can just rip you off the plane.
Strategic game over. I haven't done Penalty Island in too long.
Yeah, no. Penalty Islands take so long, it's almost better to just reset and try to get the full ride.
Yeah, let's do that again, but this time properly.
Yeah, I took an unintentional game over there on 29.
Nice. I think it's anybody's game once again.
Yeah, everyone is very, very close.
So the yellow plane is the fastest, but again, remember, every other platform, every other plane has priority over me being on this plane. So I gotta jump proactively to try not to get ripped away from this ride that I'm sitting on.
Yeah, the clouds are technically platforms, but they're basically enemies.
Yep. And full ride.
Nice.
I was close, but Penalty Island 2.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna try playing this out. I'm on Penalty Island 1.
Oh, you're playing this out, not playing this out. Gotcha. Oh, well, I'm paying a penalty on the pun again, aren't I?
Yeah, that's 2.
Ah, crap.
That's weird. It's usually me paying the pun tax.
You know, everything is shifted around. Roles are reversed. The race is anybody's game.
This is what Pac-Land does to you.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, I got past round 29.
Nice.
Same.
So the only thing I can say about round 30 in the ghost house is you need one key to exit the building, so we will have to step back to get a key at some point. And I'm going into round 31 with no lives. So...
Good luck.
Yeah. Am I going to just do what I have done before, where I just run through the level somehow? Nobody does that. It's only happened once in a run for me. But this is where the worst of the RNG happens. Everything is... Apparently, I shouldn't be alive. I really should not be alive.
I am not going to chance round 31 on just one life. I'm going to take a strategic game over.
Good call. I got an extra life there, so I just decided to keep going. I take the power pellet here, one of the rare cases where I do, because, well, it didn't work out because it ran out right as I made that jump, but you get a lot of headway towards a part where then we use a strategy to ride the planes along the top to skip past everything miserable at the bottom. If you're above the planes that drop children, you won't be hit by children. That's the strategy here.
Somebody clip that.
Why is it always my comments about children that get this way? Okay. Back to power pellet. We'll try this again. If they would let me grab it. If Satan would let me actually move faster. And no, it's gonna be blue plane.
Speaking of blue plane, I gotta stay on this blue plane here.
Oh no.
Okay. 31 down.
Nice. GG. I just got 32. You want to talk about that?
So 32 is... There are no checkpoints in 32. You gotta beat it in one go. So, It's not the hardest level, but it's the most unforgiving if you mess up.
All right, I'm past
So-
31.
Nice. I am going to be the last one to get past it because I can't do my crescent jumps again.
31 makes or breaks runs.
It really does.
Yeah,
And
so
honestly,
does
crescent
32
jumps are hard.
sometimes.
Yeah. Crescent jumps are rough because we're dealing again with turbo controls. They sometimes work, they sometimes don't. But 32 is like Flappy Bird. That's all you need to know. There's no checkpoints. It's Flappy Bird.
Alright, coming up on time. Time.
GG.
GG.
Nice.
All right, I'm coming up. Time.
Oh, and I'm
Yay.
still on
That was
31.
close.
Yeah, that was close. I'm pretty sure that is the first Pac-Land race that I've actually won.
Nice.
So very happy about that.
Yeah, we need to at least have like a racing series at some point for this. And I'm not just saying that because I need to get better at 31 or anything.
I mean, we all need to get better at 31. Like that.
Yeah,
is,
that's a general rule of thumb. No matter how good you are at 31, you need to get better at it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is. I was so close, and Trace, you're coming up
Yeah.
on 31 here.
Okay, I'm getting crescent jumps now at least.
Yeah.
Oh, and slipping off the platform. I may end up getting mercy killed here at 31. But we'll give it a little time. We got the
yeah.
Pac-Man Pro showcase, so I'm okay
Yeah.
showing off just how miserable this level can be.
Yeah.
Because these UFOs are already bad enough as is. I pressed left to just take a tiny step left, and I took a huge leap left.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for one of the racers to just get walled at 31 because that's just what 31 does. It's, it's happened to all of us.
Yep. Oh,
but
no, not Satan, not today. Not to say Satan.
yeah,
Yeah.
we still have a couple minutes left in the estimate here, so
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah, certainly give it a few more goes here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the issue with 31 is there's just a lot of little gotchas in this level, and the end of it's really hard, but the beginning of it's also really hard. So it's very easy to just take a couple of deaths in the beginning of this, and that costs you at the end. So
Yeah,
it's...
You see that I'm trying to do crescent jumps to get to the top here because if you can ride the planes, again, you are not under the planes. They are not going to hit you then. But it's also really hard to get crescent jumps going with no, finesse in the controls. This is not like your simple, Mario jumping through platforms and stuff. This is Pac-Man, who will sometimes decide, I don't want to move or I want to move too much.
Yeah, the crescent jumps are really difficult. I've been kind of adjusting my strats more lately to avoid having to use crescent jumps. There's actually a way to, you talk about, riding the plane to the end of the stage. There is a way to do that where you jump up from the bottom, but it's unforgiving in its own right, so...
Yeah. And
any
there I bonked against the ceiling, and yeah, it's going to be one of those days.
Yeah. Anytime you think you've figured out the strategy for this level, you think you've got it figured out, and then you die.
Yep. And can I get a plane? Are we not even at the planes yet? We're not at the planes yet. Okay. Great. Yeah, this has been my practice, is that 31 just has been miserable to me for some reason, so y'all get to see me at my absolute worst. This level can either be the greatest, or it can be this. And I keep trying to take aggressive jumps there. If I had gone any bit short there, I would have fallen into the water.
Chat, can we get some love for PeaceEgg? This is like,
Yeah,
this is so
just
difficult to do.
This is way harder than it looks, and if it looks hard to you, then trust me, it's even harder to control.
I want to talk a little bit about when I first played this game, because it was PeaceEgg and Flannel Cat introducing it to me in the SGDQ practice room.
Yep.
And, like, 31 is such a wall. I mean, a couple of days prior to that, Brosentia had been playing Pac-Land, and I know he was stuck on 31 for a very long time. Like,
Yep.
what, an hour?
Yep, about an hour. That's a lot of times it'll happen that way. I've seen people get stuck on 32 for an hour. All right.
There's a funny thing about 32, though. It's that since there's no checkpoints, you're never gonna strategically game over for more lives on it.
Nope, that's true. Every attempt is a new chance at finishing. And, you know, one blue plane in the face, what's the big deal at this point? Doesn't matter. We're going to get across, we're going to have a good time, we're going to get to the top of those planes. And Satan's going to say, hold up a minute, actually, what if you just didn't? What if you just didn't? And now I've got to cross normally because the purple ghost is in the way and Pac-Land disagrees.
Why does the blue ghost dip so low? Like, the other three ghosts are like, we're gonna dip down a bit, but you know what, we'll go back up and let you through. But blue is like, no, I'm gonna get you.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I'm just timing those crescent jumps too early. Okay. I'm gonna tell myself this is the run. This is the run! Okay. I don't want to talk about how many minutes it took me.
Oh, God.
Okay. Now watch as I just one-shot 32.
Please don't jinx yourself.
I'm gonna jinx myself on this one. Let's go.
Alright, then.
Let's just... Pac-Land has already done me dirty today. Pac-Land decided that I was not fit for its streets for a little while, so... We're just going to have a nice, cozy time flirting with the propellers of planes. I'm so terrified. I got scared halfway through.
32 can be so rude.
It is. It is rude, and I'm being very careful here in Ginger about like where I'm moving here, because if we touch the tops of any of these planes, that counts as a platform, and the jumping starts to be incredibly different at that point. You can get a really high jump that bonks the ceiling, you can drop and crater to the ground. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. And if you fly too low while you're jumping around here, the blue plane can just do its thing, and that's finally time. Oh my god, that's a horrible time.
All right.
Oh.
GG, you made it.
Excellent.
GG. So, I will say it's a horrible time, but this used to be the kind of time you'd get for a top 3 time, maybe world record, 36 minutes. We've just cut down this run that much.
Well, this feels like the kind of game where finishing is half the battle. So.
It is. And I welcome anybody, especially if you're at a GDQ where Flannel Cat or someone else has brought their TurboGrafx 16, ask them to play Pac-Land. And just try it out. Enjoy it. It won't last long, that enjoyment. Or maybe it will, and you'll join us.
I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the good friends of Pac-Land, man, in the Pac-Land.
Alright, so do y'all have any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
So we have a showcase actually to do here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So you might see kind of on the screen here, there's this thing called Pac-Land Pro. And you're kind of seeing it on David and my screens, like sort of the demo of it, right? Like the attract mode, if you will. So we're going to actually attempt some of these levels I don't want to say any of these levels are impossible because somebody has beaten this game. It took them several hours to do so, but there are a lot of levels in this that should not be attempted by humans. We're going to attempt them and we're going to fail.
Yep.
But I think we'll start off with a few that we can actually succeed at. So either of you wanna well, first we'll make sure we bring up the level select for Pac Pro here.
Yep.
So how do I do that? Because I've actually never done this before.
Okay, so there's actually a. Do you remember the code for it, Trace?
I do not top of my head. I always have a save state ready for that if I'm being very blunt about that.
Okay. I may actually have to look this up here.
Yeah, I'll look
Give
it
me
up with you.
just a moment.
Because, yeah, there is actually, you can enter this even on normal Pac-Land and just have a level select so you can practice anything you want. It is, let's see, I hold button 1, hold button 2, and press run. So easier said than done with turbo controls on. You get enter secret game options and you turn skip on.
I think I did not press the correct button.
That is
Yeah,
fair.
you may actually have to like turn turbo off for temporarily.
I actually
Uh,
have, or thought I had, 2 buttons that did not have turbo enabled.
Yeah, you may have to like reset and try it a couple of times. It is a little finicky.
Uh, yeah. Why don't you two go without me? Because I'm not prepared for this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just you want to just watch and provide some commentary for us?
I'll try, I guess.
Perfect.
Trace, you want to pick out a stage to start with?
So you want something easier, right? Let's try 10.
All right, 10. Got it. All right. All right.
Oh,
10 is a lot darker than I remember,
mm-hmm.
and the ghosts are a lot faster than I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it seems okay right now. It's not terrible.
I mean, okay is a strong word.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
looks beatable with enough lives.
Yeah,
yeah.
like I should be able to get through this without game overing. Like I'm taking
Yeah,
a
it's
few
just
deaths because I'm just not used to these ghosts being this fast. But like, this is a level that I have done a speed run of. Like I have done these early stages. We have a category for like the first 16 levels, and I think we also have a category for like the first 24 levels. But I might be the only one who did that, and it took me a good while.
Yep.
But yeah, 10 was reasonably beatable. You see here 11. 11's actually not that different from regular round 11 because there's just not that many enemies, and the platforming is roughly the same.
Yep, exactly. So maybe we ought to reset back and I don't know if you want to select another level or something like that, Rujasu. You've run a lot more Pac-Man Pro than I have.
We can turn it up a little bit here. Let's
Yeah.
try, since in the regular game 17 is kind of what I consider the first like step up in difficulty. Let's do 17 here.
Sounds good to me. All right, I'm going to just start it up here. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. I forgot the children.
Yep. Just so many children.
I forgot about the children.
Wave it, babies!
What a reference. You just activated like a sleeper cell agent in me.
Hey, it had to be done. Strong Bad is still the greatest.
I just want to call out that I was put in a no-win situation by the yellow ghost off the springboard, and instead of dropping a ghost child into my face like it normally does, it dropped a power-up. The 7650 into my face.
Oh, nice. I love when that happens.
It's just a nice little, okay, you're not actually dead, just kidding. You actually just get a lot of points.
Yeah.
There we go. That's 17.
Yep.
I think 18 is also just, when you get to the cliff sides, they're not too bad.
The early ones aren't too bad.
Yeah, once you get later
Because-
on, the Widowmakers, those will wreck your life, everything about your life, and then go back in time and wreck anything that you knew about your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny to me to be like, you're at the apex of your jump, and then a yellow ghost comes on, and you're down like 1 or 2 pixels before you're dead.
Yep, exactly. It's just, you see the face of death right before Pac-Man just eats it in the propeller of a yellow ghost spy plane.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say let's jump up to 24 because
Okay.
I have beaten 24. I know it's beatable.
Okay.
But this is gonna be kind of, the pinnacle of the beatable levels, let's say.
Okay.
So
Let's
24, 3, 2, 1, go.
Again, it just seems so normal, other than the hydrants are now pushing me around, and I'm scared of these Satans.
Yeah, I mean, it starts out normal enough.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nothing as terrible is going to befall us once we're clear of this area.
Yeah, seems kind of fast, but ah!
Yep, here we go.
Ghost.
Here we go. Okay. Too many children. I'm not a preschool. Who did this?
Is this what later rounds of Space Invaders looks like?
Probably.
Because that is so many children.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, they're invading my space right now.
Yeah.
Not happy
I
about
should have
that.
I should have taken that power pellet there.
Yep.
I would have finished if I had taken the power pellet, but I did not.
I will also admit I cheated a little bit. I have more lives because that's part of that whole cheat screen. So I just
Yeah.
took the max 8 lives.
Yeah, I don't have the code entered for that, so I have the normal number of lives, but that's okay. I am going to
That is
skip
fair.
to 25 here, and we're going to experience the joy that is 25.
Yep. Let me know when you're ready because I'm already paused on 25, ready to go.
All right. 3, 2, go.
Welcome to this.
Good introduction.
Can you make it over to the first log?
Oh.
Oh, I made some progress there. I got on a UFO that was like going to the right. And it's I think once you get like this far, it's actually, you see Sue here. It's possible to hop on like that purple ghost there. It's difficult, but it's possible to get up on this purple ghost here and just kind of go to the top. And eventually, like, it's possible to make it so that a plane flies to the right and you can hop on that plane and beat the level. But you have to know when the plane's coming, and I don't know when the plane's coming, so the plane just kills me. But in theory, that's how you beat that level.
Oh my god, progress. I made it over 2 logs. That's amazing.
I want to see what a task this level looks like.
Well,
I
a
was
task
thinking
of
the
this
same
level
thing.
would be pretty quick. Like, you just get on that plane and you zoom past. But actually doing it as a human, just good luck with that.
Yeah, and that is an extra 8 lives for me, and I game over just as bad.
Yep.
Wow.
This is Pac-Land Pro. Welcome to an experience not intended for any human.
So do we have another couple minutes for this, or do we want to wrap up? Okay.
Okay,
we'll show off a few more then, I guess. Do we
Okay.
want to just 26?
Let's do 26. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do 26, and we'll see what that's looking like, and then we'll do 31, and then I think we'll call it a wrap.
Sounds good to me. All right, I'm just starting up 26. Let's go.
Yeah. I
Now,
think.
I said the cliff sides are nice. There are exceptions.
Just it'll drive you up a wall sometimes.
Yep.
And I mean, you get on a plane and you get slammed into the wall.
Yeah. It's I don't have a pun for this one. I've already got 3 puns on the pun tax. I'm already in trouble and in pun debt. But this is just terrifying. It's actually become a horror game. And also the Blue Ghost just does what he does, just now much faster.
A horror game, but the jump scares happen 4 times a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can't get past this spot with the logs here.
Nope.
Like, I game overed.
Yep, that's me as well. I'm going to do one more attempt here, and I can't even land on a log out of fear.
Yeah. Actually,
Thinking,
I think I have a better idea than 31. Let's show off level 29.
all right, 29 it is.
Oh no. No.
The plane ride level for y'all who
You-
remember.
All right, let's go.
Let's
Level
go.
29.
So it's just riding a plane across the lake, right? How hard could it be? Oh crap, my ride's already left.
Hey, come back!
Okay, well, I guess I'm riding the timeout ghost now. Never mind.
Penalty ghost.
Penalty ghost, yeah.
Oh, I
Can't
got
get it.
one.
Nice, nice.
Zoom.
Please keep all hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
Oh. Oh,
Here we
no.
go. Oh,
You're
never
on
mind. I
Penalty
got ripped
Island.
off by a plane going right back in timeout ghost.
Yeah, that's
So I'm on about like a 2-second delay of watching this, so I just heard the description, then immediately saw it afterwards. That was beautiful.
It's just imagine every comedic way in which Pac-Man could die. You're gonna see it here in Pac-Land Pro.
Yeah. So I have no intention of trying to speedrun these levels. Certainly not today. Probably not ever. But yeah, we like to show them off and just the sadism of them. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching our run, and thanks so much for having us here.
Yeah. I just think we can do some shoutouts real quick. You can
Yeah.
follow me at twitch.tv/PeaceEgg. I normally do cozy ghost hunting games. Sometimes I do weird speed runs. This is one of those weird speed runs. Just check me out sometime. You'll have a good time.
Um. Uh. So I'm Alys Rujasu. Twitch.tv/Alys Rujasu. I don't stream that much, but if you want to follow me, cool. David.
I'm davidtki, twitch.tv/davidtki. I've been on a bit of a slow stream streak lately, hoping to get back into it soon, but we'll see.
Everybody wish Flannel Cat a happy belated birthday right now.
Happy
Cat,
birthday,
happy
Happy
birthday.
belated
Cat.
birthday!
And thank you again for having us.
And thank you all for that incredible run and incredible showcase. Everyone in the chat, you are watching Fireside Pride 2024. Stay tuned for Kitsune Tales Kiri % new game. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, everybody, thank you so much for your patience. You are watching Fireside Pride 2024, benefiting Point of Pride. I'm Chibi Carrera, and I have had a wonderful time being your host for this event. That is it for me. I am so sad to go, but I am so happy to pass the microphone on over to Scala Kitty, who's going to do an absolutely amazing job. You all are in good hands. Hopefully I'll see more of you soon, and everyone, have a great week.